You are being lied to about XRP. Not all of you. If you've done your own research, then you know the truth. But there are many of you out there that are receiving misinformation, and today I want to clear that up. I'm not interested in FUD. I'm not interested in misinformation. This channel is interested in the truth. And that's what I'll bring to you. I think that's why you subscribe. Today I want to react to an exclusive interview with the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, who is a guest on Anthony Pompliano's Off the Chain podcast. This is 90 minutes of great conversation between a Bitcoin bull and an XRP bull. I'm going to link this entire episode down below in the description. I highly encourage you to subscribe to Off the Chain. Check it out for yourself, because the first 40 minutes of this podcast is just describing who Brad Garlinghouse is and what XRP and what Ripple is and the differences and the software versus the coin and everything. Really valuable. Having said that, I want to play you a 45-second clip proving that they are lying to you about XRP. And it's not Pompliano and it's not Brad Garlinghouse lying to you about XRP. It's everybody else. Answering the question, is XRP a security? We are clearing it up on this channel once and for all, straight from the CEO.
So I got to ask, XRP, there's plenty of people who think it's security, plenty of people who don't.
I think there's plenty of people who don't.
Okay. I think that the big question, and I'm very sensitive to the fact that I don't want you to say anything that you're uncomfortable saying, but at the same time, how do you think about, if you're sitting in the regulator seat, deciding what's a security, what's not? This stuff's new. You spoke about ETH transitioning possibly from could have been a security to now it's not. Just talk a little bit about that, sitting running, what do you guys have, the third or fourth largest cap asset now?
It depends what you count market cap, right? Look, I think the SEC has a really hard job, and I genuinely mean that. This is a new thing, what does it mean? How should it be regulated? And so I'm respectful of the fact that some of the stuff, it's not black and white. I think that, how that plays out is, I think, yet to be determined. I think slowly but surely the SEC is providing more guidance, both through what they're doing with an enforcement mechanism and what they're doing, kind of what they're publishing our policy stuff. We work with regulators around the world. Some regulators have been much kind of quicker than the U.S. has about being specific. The U.K. has come out and said that they view XRP in the same thing as ETH and BTC. We've seen a bunch of other, Japan, that has been true. I can't certainly speak on behalf of the SEC. Suffice to say, I think they've got a hard job, and I understand that they're kind of trying to do their best to work through it.
Okay. The answer is, we don't know yet, which I like because that's the truth. When there are people out there right now today lying to you, saying unequivocally, look at the clues, look at the quotes, XRP will be fine. When right from the CEO's mouth, we don't know yet, the SEC is the only one that can make that determination. And to be clear, I don't care one way or the other. I just think the XRP hodlers need some transparency. And I appreciate Brad Garlinghouse's candor. The next rumor that I want to put to rest today comes right about at 1:10. Pompliano asks the next big question to Garlinghouse. He says that 1 billion XRP that the company Ripple gets allotted every month to further the adoption of Ripple. Yes, generally speaking, you're transparent. It's for onboarding new clients, selling OTC, whatever it is. Can we get a little more transparency? Obviously, we can't do open source contracts, but can we get more transparency?
Would there be a way for you to, and I'll caveat again, sitting as a person trying to understand how you guys are thinking about this and also understanding kind of the other side, there's sensitivities whenever you're doing business transactions with, I'll call them customers, partners, whoever. And so you don't want to, open source your contracts, right? For example. Right. But is there a way to be more transparent is kind of a negative connotation, but just more transparent around what those selling restrictions are, either on a customer basis or on a more kind of generalized basis?
Here's kind of my reaction to this. Okay, so we're already 10 or 100 times more transparent than anybody in the crypto community, and we get attacked for doing that. And I think you just asked me to be more transparent. I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. It's just kind of like we are doing what we think are smart, strategic things to leverage our balance sheet in a way that we think is rational and thoughtful about catalyzing this whole area.
All right, a little pushback coming out of Brad saying, hey, he thinks they're transparent enough. And you know what? They're about 70 minutes into this conversation. He's been very open thus far, so I don't blame him. And the reason that I'm going to take Brad's side on this is because they're running a business here, and a business with the banks. So how transparent can they be when they're working with the banks? And also, other competing companies like Stellar Lumens, for example, who's working with IBM, doing basically the same thing. We don't have a clue how they're spending their money. So in that sense, Brad has a point. For XRP holders, the question you have to ask yourself is, okay, if we don't have that next step of transparency, then do you trust Brad? Do you trust Ripple to get it done? Let me know down below if you agree, if you disagree. The last clip I want to play you, and this one is the most important. At the very end, Brad Garlinghouse turns the tables on Pompliano and he says, after 90 minutes of me informing you, answering your question, has your opinion changed on XRP, on Ripple? Listen to what he says.
All right, my one question for you is, do you think differently about Ripple and the XRP ledger now as compared to 60, 70, 80 minutes? I don't know how long we've been here.
So I think I'm actually on the podcast on record saying that it's important to separate out software company from XRP. I actually think that having software that makes banks run better, there's big businesses to be built there, right? We've actually invested in a bunch of businesses that are either trying to disrupt software products that are currently in banks or are helping banks be more efficient. That all makes a lot of sense to me. XRP, my only big thing that I just can't get over, right? And I understand the academic, or I understand the argument as to why is if you can use XRP, right, across the rails, why not use Bitcoin? Now, I think your argument would be volatility, the fact that you can't stop it, all the things.
It's a lot faster and a lot cheaper to use XRP.
So what I end up coming to is there are there's probably many versions of the future, but two of those versions are what I will call a corporate company creating a software product that is then sold in an enterprise model into banks, which you guys are doing. And there's likely to be something other than Bitcoin that's used. So whether that's XRP or somebody else comes along and creates something, or it's Libra, or whatever gets created.
Interesting. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section, and be brutally honest. Listen to this entire podcast and then be brutally honest on your thoughts on XRP and on Ripple. Let's all check the comment section together after this video and see what the community thinks. The one thing I'll say is something that Pompliano said, that one sentence that's one of the many things that's just a summation on my thoughts on XRP. Is this type of thing needed for the banks? Absolutely. Will XRP be that coin that reaches that adoption with the banks? We'll see. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin that does it. It could be with second layer solutions. Maybe it's a Libra type coin. Maybe it's Stellar Lumens. I'm personally not sure. Let me know what you think down below in the description. A couple pieces of news. France's state investment bank has just funded a Bitcoin Lightning Network startup. So they're putting money investing in a Bitcoin second layer scalability solution. The French startup ACINQ, one of the main developers, one of three main developers behind the Lightning Network, has secured a round of 1 million euros from the Public Investment Bank. The move is one of the few times that a state-led entity in France has put their money towards the blockchain industry, specifically a Bitcoin scaling solution. The French company ACINQ raised the money to further boost the adoption of the Lightning Network worldwide and boost Bitcoin's scalability through second-layer solutions. Here are the details. Most notably, the startup was able to secure 1 million euros from BPI France, a public investment bank in the country. It is likely the first time a public entity has invested directly in Bitcoin's development, let alone any blockchain-related enterprise in France. And who is this bank? Who is BPI France? Well, BPI France has almost 60 billion in assets managed under its name, and 1 million, that's 60 billion euros, and 1 million euros has went towards this Bitcoin development. ACINQ is currently one of the top 3 companies working on Lightning Network alongside Blockstream and Lightning Labs. Pretty interesting. Let me know what you think. The last piece of news, Telegram finally confirms it is behind the Telegram blockchain. We already knew this, but the point is they have updated their website, their terms of service, and they're making this public, not just on the cryptocurrency tab, but on their main website. After raising $1.7 billion last year and maintaining almost complete radio silence since, the messaging app Telegram is finally going public with its involvement in the Telegram Open Network, TON. The first mention of TON and its native Gram tokens appeared in Telegram's official website Tuesday morning in the form of a terms of service for the Tokens Wallet app. According to the terms of service, Telegram will integrate the wallet into the company's flagship messaging app and also offer it as a standalone product. So everybody that uses Telegram will have access to this wallet. Interesting. This to me sounds practically the same as what Facebook was trying to do, and Telegram just did it covertly. I mean, we'll have to see when this comes out. We'll have to see the intricacies, but it's interesting. All right, let me know what you think. That is the video for today. My name's Austin. If you've got any value, I'd appreciate the like. Helps the channel grow. But like always, I'll see you tomorrow.